Good morning. Well, hopefully it's a good morning. It's December 2020, and there's just a lot going on out there in the world, and we're all coming up with our strategies to keep ourselves well. And so what I'd like to do is start talking about morning routines, and just like starting with the most simple morning routine that I do just to wake up my body, my joints, my brain, and not start doing right away. One of my teachers always said, right when you get out of bed, just plant your feet on the floor, even before you stand up, and ground, and feel that. And I think that there's a really compassionate way to wake up our body, especially right now, so we're not rushing into our day, into our doing, and into our lists. So today's practice is really going to be about gentleness and waking up all the joints. Motion is lotion, some cat-cow, and yoga for everybody. Some positions that, and some props, lots of props and blankets. And you can't see it, but I have a little heater here. You could wear a hat. I have socks because I like to be really warm in the morning. My hands are already a little bit cold, but let's get started. You can use a rug, you can use a mat. You don't have to use any, but I like double mat or a rug. I like it really, really comfortable. So let's move. First thing I like to do is just take a seat. I like to do a gentle child's pose, and that might look different for everybody. A blanket under the knees could be really nice. And then also maybe a pillow under your ankles, because those can be tight. The front of the ankles can be really, really tight. And so for me, this feels really good. You can even do it in your bed, which is awesome. And take a nice seat, good posture, navel to spine. Breathe up, stretch up, look up. Exhale. And take your hands forward a little bit, navel to spine. Gently walk them out. Sucking in your stomach. And if it's more comfortable, you can also take your knees wide. Okay? This is your body. It's a time to connect to your body and to see what feels good, because we're going to get some nice hip flexion. Sucking in your stomach. Walking out, pressing through the hands, and I'm also squeezing my armpits together and subtly almost rotating or feeling like I'm rotating my hands externally as if I'm opening jars out. My index fingers are pointed forward and my chest is just falling to the floor. I'm supporting this by sucking my stomach in. Looking up, opening my chest. My back is really active and I'm pushing through my hands. And if it's comfortable, you can just lay your forehead down, relax your neck. Breathe into your whole back body, the sides of your ribs. And you can spend a few breaths here, really just saying good morning to yourself. Before all that energy goes out, this forward folding can be really gentle. And after you've been here long enough, feeling really weighted in your hips and your pelvis, pushing through your hands, you can start to take subtle movements, something intuitive. Maybe your hands stay, and you rock side to side slowly. Even knitting and breathing in my floating ribs, if a little gentle head motion feels good, waking up the upper thoracic and cervical spine. All feels really good to me. Yeah. Next, you can leave your left hand forward. You can take just sort of a little bit of a side bend. You can put your hand on your sacrum. You can feel the flatness there. You want to feel balanced in your pelvis. Typically, if you're right-handed, you're left-legged.
And you'll be wanting to feel more weight in your right hip, and vice versa. If you're left-handed, you're right-legged. Not always. And you can even press just to feel that. Your seat can be active, and your stomach is really still pulling in gently. And you're getting a nice stretch through your left armpit, maybe your chest. Your hand is into the floor. And it should feel really nice. It should feel gentle. Switch sides, reach out, maybe spend a breath in center. Again, re-engage, pulling your armpits together and switch sides. Each side's going to feel different, and that's okay. It's good to know how it feels different. For me, this is a lot deeper in my left hip than it was in my right hip. Inhale and exhale. You want to be pressing your hand into the mat, into the rug. You can turn your head straight, left and right, and navel to spine, really supporting this pose. You can walk your hands back out. You can come to your fingertips. Come to center one more time. Really pulling your armpits together, squeezing, looking up. Maybe getting a little flick of that tailbone up. And then gently, you can walk with your fingertips and your stomach in and up. Rolling up. Really gently, really slowly, restacking the spine. And just feeling your posture. Next, we're all ready for, a nice supported cat-cow. You can keep your props. I'm going to take mine out, because I like to get a little more stretch along the front of my ankles. And you'll place your hands shoulder width apart. You want your knees and hips in 90 degrees, your index fingers forward. And again, you want that engagement, squeezing your armpits together. And think of the natural spinal curve. I'm asking for a little bit of a pelvic tilt, but I also don't want my ribs out. So there's a fine line to the balance there. Squeezing my armpits, and then I'm looking up, and I'm going to take happy cat, angry cat. Now for me, the slower the better. Breathing in, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. The slower we move, the more muscle engagement we get. We all have different muscles that like to do all kinds of different things for us. And we want to bring the whole body into this exercise. So again, from my practice, I'm working on not splaying out, which is really common. So I'm still in this cat-cow. I'm pulling my armpits together. I'm rotating my hands energetically externally. I'm pushing into the mat. Trying to feel weighted on my pelvis equally, the right and the left side. And just trying to get a really nice throat opening. Kidney opening. once you've done that, if you're feeling comfortable, there's an opportunity to play. You can stay where you're at. You can move to a rug. There's no rules, like, other than you really want to be in alignment. You can have some space between your knees. Yeah. And you can stir your cat-cow. You can look up. You can go back to the left, to the right, forward, looking up, right, and take really slow circles. My head follows my spine. So if I'm rounded, I'm looking down. I'm in extension and looking up. Breathe. Happy sighs or not happy sighs. And really just let it out. Really be gentle with your sacrum, with your heart, with your spine. This can be very strong. It can also be very gentle. It's kind of that fine line. And then other direction. Back, navel to spine, really pulling in and forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here we can come into a little bit of a really gentle supported up dog, pressing through the hands. Seat is active, legs into the floor and back. Exhaling. And take it as deep or as shallow as you want. As long as you're really supported in your shoulder blades, it doesn't have to be a big movement. You know, go to your level of deep. You can take side bends, which feel really good to me. Stretches my hip, opens my rib cage. Really just nice and slow. Really looking for my feet to remain straight, where it really just comes from the hip, maybe the shoulder, playing with the balance and the head. Exhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Maybe just bring it to center with a few more cat-cows. Stretching the feet can really be nice. We're already here. If you have it available to you, you can stretch the tops of your feet by just pressing up. This can be a lot and too much, but if it feels good to you, you know, go ahead and take it. Another option is to tuck the toes. Yeah, and then come up. A very, very like moderate downward dog. You can rock the sides of your feet. You can pedal. You can go up and down on your toes and just explore like what feels deep to you. This is your body. You get to play with it. You get to have a little more mobility, a little more ease in your day. If it's comfortable, you can sit on your toes. If it's not, don't. Can do some wrist rotations. Breathe again, breathe in and up. Really reaching, looking up. Breathing down. Some shoulder rotations can be really, really nice. Inhaling, exhaling. You can do inhaling through your nose and then exhaling a sigh. Sometimes in yoga, people want just inhale and exhale through the nose. I don't know, sometimes I think it's nice just to get the exhale, the audible exhale out. If you're sitting on your feet, maybe they're starting to really open up by now, and maybe that's enough. Another thing that I really, really love for the feet is the yoga tune-up balls. You can use racket balls or tennis balls, but these are a little bit more gentle, and so it allows the muscles to release a little bit easier. They might be $10 on Amazon. For balance, you can do them one at a time on a counter and just really explore your feet. Yeah. For me, I like to do them both at the same time. Just kind of walk around. Yeah. On the arches, on the balls. And if you're doing this barefoot, you can see your metatarsals, so that's fun. Kind of pop up. And this should feel maybe a little bit like fire. It will really quickly become gentle. You know, if you warm up your feet in the morning, warms up the whole body. The feet are really important to love. You know, you can jump a little bit on them, shake out your lymphatic system. Really easy yoga. You know, and where it feels juicy to you, like you want to stay a little bit longer, stay a little bit longer. If any of these movements light up for you, do these movements. You don't have to do all these movements. And then a pillow, 2 pillows could be nice. You know, nothing wrong with props. Got to be comfortable. And you can do ankle rotations a few times each side. You squeeze your feet a little bit. Little somatics. Rub your ankles round and round. Wake up your calves, your knee joints, your thighs, your hips. Next leg. Ankle rotations. Both ways. Squeeze your feet a little bit. I sometimes do this for my kids. A little like morning squeeze of the feet. They don't even know I'm grounding them. It's really sneaky. They love it. Why not do it for yourself? You know, you can pat your feet. Just keep breathing, enjoying, exploring. Ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hips. Did I miss anything? I think I missed anything. Yeah. So I'm getting kind of warm. I'm ready to stand up a little bit. It's a little bit more gentle on the pelvis to stand up. You want it to be about hip width, maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit wider if you want more balance. If you want to challenge your balance, you can be about 6 feet. Big toes parallel, center of the ankles. And you want your ankles and your heels just to be a little bit out. Soft bend in your knee, stomach in. And then we're going to do a little bit of chair. You just bend as if you're sitting back into a chair. Really weighted in your heels, equally in your feet. Stomach in. And go to your level of comfort. You can come down and you can touch the floor. You can put blocks here. That's really nice. Depends where your flexibility is. Navel to spine, in and out. From here you can fold over, really just releasing the back and getting some nice traction. And with your stomach in and your feet in alignment, you can take gentle pulses. Breathing in and up. Exhaling down. Breathing in and up, feeling really weighted and even in your pelvis. And so for me, it's like I'm really trying to put more weight in my right foot. This is really, really gentle. I'm not weighted on my upper body. It's like standing cat-cow, really. But I'm getting a little more depth in my hip. Lengthening my hamstrings. Some traction on my neck. You can even hold your neck. Nice, gentle first forward fold of the day. If it's available to you and it feels good, you can let your shoulders roll forward and bring your arms up. You can release your neck, gentle back and forth. Yes. No. Then pressing into the floor. Again, you can have blocks here. Props are great. You can bend your knees one at a time. Stomach pulling in. Just really saying good morning to your pelvis. Turning on your abdominals. Getting in your body. Breathing. One more time, just hang over. It's available to you. Again, open up your chest. I like to take a gentle twist, bending one knee, and then the other. You can do that a few times. Back and forth. You can raise your toe or not. So we've warmed up the lower body quite nicely. And then we're going to come to a sitting position. There's lots of modifications. Again, you can put a pillow under your ankles or a towel. You can roll a towel, whatever you've got. You can put a blanket and a roller. You can put whatever you need to feel really comfortable here. We all have different levels of flexibility that we're working with, and we're just looking to go a little bit deeper for our bodies and to know what that looks like. So for me, I'm pretty happy just sitting on my heels, a lot of flexibility in the front of my feet. I'm asking for my feet straight, my ankle bones to be touching. And we'll do a little bit of gentle side bending. Blocks can be nice. I've got 2 different sizes. I should have the same size, but I've got 2. Breathe our arms up. And then exhale over to the right. You can be on your fingertips. You want to keep your arm in front of you because you don't want to go into your back. We really want to stay abdominal here. For me, I can put my hand flat. That feels pretty nice. I'm really pushing through my lat while I'm also extending up. My hand is relaxed. And then over. Chin lifted. And just take a few breaths here, really settling into my pelvis, pushing through my supported hand or fingertips or block, and just really enjoying a nice side bend. You can move your chin up and down. You can do circles with your head here. And breathe. Breathe in the new space. It's abdominal. You're getting obliques on your left side, lengthening through your right. Breathe in to come up. Other side. Breathe your arms up. Exhale, right. Arm can come in front of the face. You want to feel equally weighted on both sides of your pelvis, navel to spine. Same thing, really push into that supported hand. Chin can go up and down. Getting a nice right oblique crunch. And I'm also getting space through the left side of the body and arm. And I do have a lot of flexibility. This could look like this for you. It's no problem. Just figure out what feels good to you and strong, and like you're getting a little bit more length and space in your body. It doesn't have to look like me. It's the balance between our strength and our flexibility. Maybe a few shoulder rolls. And then one last thing would be to do a slight opening or back bend. You can be in more of a camel position. Camel can be nice with some width between your knees. You can have a blanket or a pillow under your ankles. You can be on your toes. What you really want to be doing is, I kind of like putting a block between my upper thighs to engage the adductors. So you really want to turn on your seat and your adductors every day. They get really weak. And so in the morning, turning on my seat all the time. So squeezing the adductors, breathing in and up. And then to whatever degree available, camel or back bending can look like this. Really squeezing together. Pushing from my seat. My hips forward and opening, my throat opening. You can take your hands to your seat, like a less extreme version. You can take them to the back of your thighs. can roll your shoulders back, pinch your shoulder blades together. I'm still really, really squeezing my adductors. Getting a little length in my psoas. And breathe to come up. Some gentle head rolls. Maybe 3 times each side. Possibly some forearm work. Really pulling my fingers back. Stretching. A lot of us are on computers all day. So maybe one more time with that. So finding out what feels good to you. Some up and down, some rotations. Fingers out, fingers in. Still breathing. Yeah, that feels great. If there's any final movements that might feel good to you, take them. Nice thing to do is just, if you have 3 minutes to let this integrate, lay down. It's like you get to go back to bed just one more time. My favorite would be a pillow under my head, some support under my knees. Use the sock over my eyes. I take the microphone out of my pants. And then I really like to tuck my neck, hold it straight. Feels really loving and supportive. One hand over the belly, one hand over the heart, or possibly maybe your hands on some pillows. Sock over the face. And just some gentle breaths. Some gratitude for starting your day with some ease, some love, some gentleness. Letting your whole body relax. Feel weighted into the floor. Letting go of what needs to go. And breathing in something new, something spacious. Namaste.